Our speaker will explore the emotional care, combining with some Eastern and Western approach. And mainly the discussion is to help the audience gain an understanding of emotional disturbance and how to maneuver to it to reach a deeper part of themselves from where they can bring out their core qualities like calmness, peace, strength, etc. So thank you very much. Let me introduce Ms. Prema Shankar, who is an engineer by education. Her domain is self-enhancement, growth, and well-being. She has learned art-based therapy, Indian psychology, and healing like tapping, breathwork, etc., following her interest and path of joy. She used these modalities for her own well-being and others. She's constantly on lookout of her own self-enhancement, currently exploring coaching with depth, a certification course from IIT Madras. She loves sharing her practices with others and having deep conversations around these topics. She's a practicing therapist and coach and a very good friend of many of us. And thank you very much, Prema, for offering this. And over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Minnie. As you were introducing, I noticed that one S is missing in my awareness. I wonder how many of you noticed. Uh, I usually prefer a very interactive discussion with people, but here, due to our bandwidth and all of that, it's like I'm talking to a screen. So, but that's okay because I can see that many of you are here. So so maybe before even we go in, maybe let's just take a minute to just group ourselves, because we all have had our days, and it's almost the end of the day. So let's just take a minute to silence ourselves, to drop what we were at before, really coming into this space, coming into yourself. And I would like you to get in touch with your breath. And as you breathe in and out, if you can recognize a silence which is present in the breath, become aware of that. Keep breathing in and out. Once again, taking a big breath and exhaling out with the mouth. Let's come here to the present, to this session. So, yeah, let's try and do this journey together. I think I have personally been on this path of self-care and self-empowerment and the well-being, just well-being of myself, probably for around 8 years now. And it is through this path that I discovered all the learnings which Minnie introduced me with, the arts-based therapy, which was which is the foundational belief with which the course was formed was Buddhist philosophy. Then from there, I got a very good introduction to Indian philosophy through the teachings of Sri Aurobindo and Mother, who are spiritual leaders who lived in Pondicherry. After that, I also learned a couple of modalities which was developed in the West, which is like emotional freedom technique, also called as tapping, which you tap on your body meridian points and you release your emotional stress and tension. Another work which I again learned from the West is rebirthing breath work. So somewhere I have been very interested both in the Eastern side of understanding and also the Western approach. So by Western approach, I don't fundamentally necessarily mean the Jungian philosophy or the Freudian theories, because I still do not have any expertise or exposure to that. Through Western approach, what I mean is that not the yogic or the Vedic understanding of the East, but how the West has currently approached philosophy and spirituality, or even psychology, we can say. Because the West is all talking about self-love, self-worth, and there has been many leaders like Louis Hay. We have got Eckhart Tolle. We have got many of these Western. Not yogis, but very much like yogis, because had they been in India, maybe we would have called them yogis. But the Western masters, let's call them. So I have been hearing all of that, and it has been very interesting for me to see this, this link between the West and the East, because in the East we are very much talking about the divine presence, the Atma, the Antaratma, the Jivatma, and all of that. Whereas the West is always talking about self-care, self-love, self-worth. Are you in love with yourself? Love yourself more. Be in the present. This is all what we hear when we listen to the talks of the West. So somewhere this is very interesting for me, and I see a lot of connection in both these approaches. I just feel that it's just that the West is approaching towards the East, but they don't fundamentally use the words called divine or the Atma or any of those. Whereas the same thing in the East, we don't necessarily give importance to our current formation of thoughts and emotions and all of that, but we are really going to the depth of that being and asking to just focus on the divine, cutting through all of these layers. So somewhere I feel a huge synergy, and I somewhere feel that an understanding if we gain in this modern world, because we are very much using a lot of Western ideas and still ground to our traditional beliefs and system. So I somewhere feel that if we can have a good understanding of both, then we can bloom and grow in a much faster and in a much grounded way. So this is all my thought process and my views. Some of you may agree or may not. Always open to discussion. So with that, let's just move into this. I'm just still figuring out how to work. Yeah. So let's for now, let's just look at how we live our life. So when we approach our life, sometimes we are in let's look at the area where we are sad, or like how are we most of the time, how are we experiencing a real joy, or are we experiencing a fundamental delight in our being? Are we enjoying our life? For me, I think personally, maybe 2014, so maybe like 5-6 years ago, uh, I was completely low. I don't exactly remember the incident, but I only remember this scene. It's possible that I might have had an argument or a fight with my partner, but I don't remember the story right now. And I was crying my eyes out, and I just, didn't want to see the world. And I remember going and shutting myself inside the bathroom. I opened the tap. I was sitting under the shower, and I was just crying and crying. And suddenly I realized, hey, I'm just going in loops. I am just crying over the same thing. I don't want this. Like, so suddenly, like from somewhere, I got this recognition that I'm just crying over the same matter. And somewhere at that stage, I just couldn't stop it also. But I had this moment of understanding or awakening that I am just, going in loops and going in cycles. And just from there, I was just going from sad. Yes, I was already sad. I'm just calling it a state. It might have come from anger. It might have come from irritation. So I'm just summarizing all of that to sadness. And I was just in that state. And I was just from there, by my own ways of conditioning, I was just crying and crying and crying over and over the matter. And I was just going from sadness to more sadness. So, but there was this moment when I was like, no, I don't want to do this. But somehow I just couldn't do it, like I was just on and on with the same thing. I would think that, hey, Prima, you're crying over the same thing. And then I would stop, and then I would automatically, so it was like a automatic machine. I was automatically going back to the same stage of crying. And I think that was, I would really mention that as like a very key point in my life where something shifted in my awareness. And this is, I mean, I did not have this kind of four dots as I speak right now back then, but there was only this awareness that, I was being sad, and I was being just getting into more and more sadness. It is only from today, the perspective that I have right now, I have divided the paths which we take in life as these 4 points that I've mentioned here. Right now, I feel I'm mostly in the transition between sad to joy and being joy to more joy. I experience a lot of moments when I'm joyful, and I'm like, hey, I'm joyful, but how can I make this more joyful? How can I make my life, even better? So right now, there is the state of being where I am wanting to experience joy and just more joy. And that's giving such a beautiful feeling in contrast to what I experienced like 5-6 years ago. So in from that state, how do we normally revolve around our life? Sometimes we are just sad, and from there we just like go under it. Sometimes we are just sad and we just stay sad because we just don't know what to do. But some of us have this capacity to move from the being sad to joy, and we do that. And then there is this path of joy to more joy. And I feel that somewhere that, the evolution or the path forward is just that. It will go from more joy to more and more joy, but fundamentally you get the idea. So this is what I feel that, mostly our approach to life is, or the state of, I'm just, approach to life can be, I mean, it can be looked at in many ways, but looking at it from an emotional point of view and looking at it from a well-being point of view, I would say these four are possibly the main paths which people take. So in this whole journey of how I started the process to anchor myself in joy, these are the 4 steps, these are the 7 steps which I kind of um, work with, and even with others, this is the kind of steps which we follow. I'm not going to go right now into too much of these details, because then you will not get the context and you will not, like, it will just be theory. So let's move through these 7 steps based on how much time we have in this particular webinar or in the webinars to come. But if you guys are like really staying on, we will explore this journey together of how to reaching the stars, the 7th step, that's the star step. Like, just experiencing that delight irrespective of what goes on the outside, always anchored in joy and being in joy, and experiencing more joy in life and being in complete flow of life, where everything we feel that, hey, everything is working out so well for me. And I just have to just, I'm sure all of us have felt these moments. We felt that, hey, I'm at the right time at the right place. Things are just, falling on my lap. I just thought of this and this is here already. I'm sure all of us have these experiences. So how, and when we have that experience, why is it that we can't experience that all the time is my question. And that's how my pursuit is currently. Like, why can't I be in that delight all the time? Because it's so beautiful and so joyful to be in that state. So let's go through these steps, not just in theory but in practice. So I'm just going to go further ahead. In any case, when we have like time for discussion, or like any of you want to go and revisit this, we can go here and come back and have a discussion around this. But also, I think just like 2-3 weeks ago, I attempted to write a paper condensing some of the Eastern theories which I read on a book and some Western tools, which I'm going to explain here. So I've written like a paper around this. So if you are interested in reading further into these steps, I can always circulate that paper and you can read that. It has got like 7 pages of literature, but 7 pages is just like, you know, my ponderings and thoughts and just going into these steps and giving examples of these steps. So anybody who is interested in diving further deep and understanding this more, just you know, for curiosity, please approach. I will be so happy to send you that paper. um, yeah, so now I would like you to just look at your life and examine how do you feel predominantly. What is your predominant feeling in your life? And here I'm going to bring in one of the Western tools, which is called nonviolent communication, which was developed by Marshall. Oh, this is not opening. Okay, so so this is a feeling list of feeling when we are satisfied and happy. Similar to this, there is a entire list of feelings which is present. Yeah, which is present when we are not happy. Okay, when when we are not satisfied in life. I will share this link with you. So meanwhile, as I do all this copy paste and all of this stuff, I would like each one of you to go through this list and understand which is your predominant feeling mostly in your life right now, and reply to me in chat so that we will know, you know, I mean, we can take it as a part of our discussion. So I'm sending this link to everybody if you want to look at in your own screen, but here is also the screen. So if you know, so if you are mostly feeling positive and this is, there's nothing negative on it, just look at it in like an academic purpose and how you can hold the space for another person. But today we are fundamentally looking at self-care, how we can care about ourselves. Maybe we will further dive into how we can care for others. So those of us who are already feeling predominantly happy, then you can just look at it as an academic well understanding space, so that you know you can hold space for others. So if you have recognized how you mostly feel, then please put it in chat. Mini, are we recording the session?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Are you getting any reply?
Not yet. So I will maybe scroll also a little bit down. You don't have to go into the detailed, you can even just take it predominantly. Are you mostly like angry? Ma'am, do you open that link since others can only see your PPT now? Oh, sorry, I didn't understand that. Then I have to do, I think, a new share. Sorry, I didn't recognize.
Okay, can you just list out what other things they are looking for? That will be better.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the screen. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah, better.
Yes, right now we can see that.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize this. So these are a set of the feelings which I was saying that we sometimes predominantly feel. Thank you for starting to share what you feel. I'm starting to get replies. I'll just scroll down also a little bit. So also I just wanted to bring this list into this discussion because uh, we do not mostly understand our own emotions. We are um, just saying that, you know, we are upset or we are angry, or we don't even know many a times to really name what exactly we are feeling. But the deeper we understand and recognize, the easier it would be for us to work with that particular emotion. So that's also another reason why I wanted to share this list with you. So so some of us are feeling usually very anxious, or feeling very reserved, or feeling very frightened, or feeling very displeased or frustrated. So this seems to be the overall you know um, feelings that are predominantly present. uh, so with this, I would once again go back um, to the slide. And mostly even both in NVC and also in another Eastern based book that I was recently reading, and from which I wrote that paper, both of it says that any of my emotion which is not a healthy emotion is coming out of an unmet need. So when I ask you, are your needs, what would you say? Like, what are your needs? Can I have some responses, please? What are our needs? So mostly we would just name our needs as air, water, shelter, clothes, um, food. We stop with that. This is possibly very, I would call, very animalistic needs. You know, this is our fundamental needs. But man is much more complex, and this is what even the Eastern philosophy or yogic perspective says. Man is a complex being. We have developed from the animalistic instincts, though we react many a times from our animalistic nature because of our emotions. Our emotions cloud our mental capacity, and we react, and we shout, and you know, we act from that space. But man is actually much more capable, and man has this we have developed the logical thinking, we have developed the reasoning, we have developed the intellect. So we have got levels even inside our thinking process, or the mind in itself, in many levels. And in our Eastern ways, it even goes beyond that. People have written that, you know, going above the mind, like, you know, going above the mind in terms of intuitive mind, or the overmind, or the supermind. So it has been like discussed that, you know, man is not just a complex being who's stuck inside our similar nature as that of animals, but man is going far beyond our own developed minds. But many times, those of us who are treading in that path can really sense and feel that, but otherwise we are just stuck in our meanings, I mean, in our emotions and feelings, and we just react from there. um, so when I say feelings, there is this NVC, which again has a huge list of needs. So these are the needs which NVC shares. There is a need for connection, which has a very long list. There is a need for physical well-being, which really fundamentally comes under, which categorizes all our basic needs which we touch. And then there is a need for honesty, there is a need for play, there is a need for peace, autonomy, meaning. And inside all of these, we still have subsections and categories. So some of us who are feeling very anxious or feeling very reserved, or feeling, I don't know, lethargic, anxious, frustration, any of these feelings are actually originating because these needs of ours are unmet. So for example, when I go back to the example which I gave you in 2000, maybe like 5-6 years ago, maybe 2013 or 14, when I was in that space of really crying my eyes out, I can say that what I was really sad and hopeless and feeling pathetic, but it was because I was not having my need for connection being met. I was not feeling accepted. I was not feeling appreciated. I was not feeling loved. So many of these feelings, many of these needs which are not being met was what gave rise to the feelings which I was experiencing. So for you, if you are if you have given me a reply, then look, or if you have not given me a reply but found your own answer, just go through this list and see why, or from where is this emotion really coming from. What is a need that is being unmet for you right now? um, I'm also sending this in chat, the link of the needs inventory. What is it that you're feeling uh, in this, from this list, that is actually giving rise to this uh, emotions and feelings that you're experiencing? And if you have found, share it. If not, I have sent the link, and this is something which you can go back and ponder upon, because this is suddenly all new information, and it's not like immediately, it's not very easy to just get into that state. um, so So with this, I would quickly go back to the 7 steps which we discussed earlier. Let me share my screen again. So here we have, first of all, is becoming aware of the emotions and feelings, which I already shared. So even if you're feeling that unrest, even if you cannot name and pinpoint what you're feeling, then if you can just become aware that, hey, I'm feeling something, and I'm recognizing something's off, at that moment, instead of just going further into that and letting it carry out, just become aware of this and take a step back. By taking a step back, I mean not letting that emotion just go or just carry you, in its, like, it's like stepping into the water. Like, if the water is too strong, it just like takes you. So similarly, um like, just not just going along with it, but to take a step back, like, hey, I'm recognizing this, I'm not going to dive into this flow of water, I have to stay on the shore. So some kind of recognition with that, and what is going on within us. So giving us that minute, or giving us that space to understand what is going on with us, because what is going on with us is not a new thing. Like, one of my teachers would say that if you are feeling upset for more than 5 minutes, then the issue is not this particular issue. So for example, when I was saying that, this example of from few years ago, when I'm saying that I was crying and crying, and I was just going to that loop and loop, and for I think I couldn't even step out of it for like days. Though I was becoming aware that I was doing the same, I couldn't suddenly unplug. So it is much bigger than 5 minutes. So if it is much bigger than 5 minutes, it's definitely a very deep-seated issue. So we don't know where its origin is coming from. Sometimes we have made our own story. So I'm not asking you to just go dig and just, try to understand that. If you have a glimpse, that is very nice, but at least just give yourself that slack and give the other, if this emotion is coming from another person because of another person, just giving them also a space that, hey, maybe I'm just feeling this upset not because of this emotion, but something which is there within me, because we are just collecting it in our box. The very first time when we felt that hurt, or when the very first time when our mother scolded us, our father scolded us, I would have boxed some emotion in me, and then I would box a little more of that, and I box a little more of that. So it just keeps going on like that, and we keep building our own story. So just, even if we are not really understanding how deep the issue is, but just recognizing something is going on within me in itself is a good step of awareness. So I think like one of the fundamental self care, or one of the fundamental tool also, I can say, in the area of self care, is this awareness that, hey, I am going through something and I don't want to go through that. The second part of it is really that choice. So here, recognizing the unmet need. So if you are really following this structure that we spoke, then you can just go understand and recognize these feelings which you feel, and have make a note of it, and keep revisiting the site, or keep revisiting your own list, and see, this is mostly the feelings that keep coming to me. And also understanding this needs, met needs and unmet needs, and recognizing what are your unmet needs. So having just an understanding of it. But even if you're not using this tool, you can still approach your self care in the way we are further discussing. So you understand that there's something going on within yourself, and then from there we need to have an aspiration. We need to have that strength or that will within us to say that, hey, I want to shift. Because I know many people who say that, I want to change this, I want to do something, but they just keep going back to the same pattern. The moment they say they want to change something, they think of it, and after that it is gone. So there, the true aspiration to change something within them is not there. If they really want to change, they would be at it, and you will be focused on shifting and changing that, because until you do that, you will not have peace of mind. So it is really that aspiration which you need to change this. So with this, those of us who have recognized that we are feeling something within us, let's just take a few minutes from all of this discussion and go deeper within ourselves and understand what we would actually like. I would like you to know what, for yourself, what is, I would possibly guide you through a small, I don't want to call it a meditation, but I would like to guide you through a small journey, rather, and see what is it that you really want, and what is it that you are seeking. So putting down, if you are holding pen and paper and all of that, and just really coming quiet within yourself, once again focusing on your breath, and just follow my voice. If you can keep your eyes closed, this is the best. But if you are in middle of something and just listening to it, then be careful that you're safe and not close your eyes if you're like cutting something, or like, well, driving is right now out of question. So yeah, so just focusing on the breath. Once again, taking a deep breath in and out. Let's just scan our body. Let's just go within our body, become aware of our head, become aware of the brain, which is doing all the functions without even having to think You don't have to tell the brain, hey, I want to lift my right hand, give the signal. No, none of those. We just, lift it up when we want to lift it up. So the brain, which is just functioning very smoothly in harmony, the eyes that are seeing, the nose that is smelling, the mouth that is tasting and also helping you to speak, ears that is hearing, and behind the head, which is storing a lot of data, memories, our thought processes. We are just acknowledging its presence right now, just becoming aware of it. And from there, let's just travel towards our neck. We know there are again many things happening there, the vocal cords, the windpipe, the foot pipe. And all of this area, just becoming aware of it. And then moving further down, just noticing how our shoulders are feeling. Is it light? Is it heavy? When we carry so much heaviness, responsibility, burden, our shoulders become strained and uneasy. So let's just give some breathing space to this shoulder. And just travel further down to your hands, just becoming aware of your upper hand, your elbow, your lower hand, your fingers, your wrist. And travel further back from the fingers, palms, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, back to the shoulders. From there, let's move slowly and steadily in the upper part of the body. From the shoulder downwards, we have our entire rib cage, the skeletal structure. We have our organs, the lungs, the heart. Then further down, we have the stomach, the intestines. Also many other things which we don't really too much think of, the pancreas, the spleen. And all around this area, there are also like our muscles and ligaments and tendons and nerves and all of that, the stomach region. So just becoming aware of that, and the back, the spine, which is further extending down, giving structure to the back. Becoming aware of our pelvic floor, the hip region, which is really the area of balance between the upper part and the lower part. Our reproductive organs, our kidneys. And then even further down, our legs. The thighs, front and back, the knees. Further down, the calves, front in the shin, the front and back. And the feet, the toes, the toenails. Now, as you become aware of this entire body, once again, go back to your breath. Taking a deep breath. And with that breath, travel into your heart. And from that space, just send out a thank you wave to all of your body for doing all of its functions very beautifully, day in and day out. And thank yourself for continuing the journey for all the years you have walked on this earth, growing, sharing, fighting, growing, sharing, fighting, just keeps going on, the cycle, evolving. And with that, just keep focusing around your heart region further and further. And just ask yourself, what is the state I want to be in? What would I like to experience the most? And quietly wait for an answer. It might come as a thought, it might come as a feeling, it might come as an image, or you may feel nothing at all. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just keep staying there and recognize what is it that you're feeling. Some of us want to be in peace. Some of us would want more joy. Some of us would want just silence and calmness. Serenity, delight, whatever our emotion is. Recognizing that this is our deep desire, irrespective of what we feel on the outer, on the emotional level, whatever we feel, this is what we really want. And with all these fights we are doing on the outside, we're just trying to get here. We just don't know how to get here. So we are trying all the things that we can through our previous ways and conditioning. And knowing this feeling, that this is the true feeling that you would like to feel, just breathe it in and spread that feeling all over your body. Take a deep breath. And then ask yourself, what immediate step can I take now to move towards this? If it is joy for you, ask, what is the step that I can take to move towards this? If you're already here, what can I do to improve this even further? So if you're looking for peace, if you're looking for an answer or a solution, or you might have not found any quality like this, you might have just wanted, a direct answer, in the sense like something which we can define on the outer, like say I want a job, or I want to quit my job, or whatever it is. I want a maid, can be anything. Whatever it really like came up for you, because all of us are in different levels and all of us have our own journey. So with that, just ask yourself, what is the immediate step that I can take to move towards this? And listen to this answer, which has always been like trying to come out from within you, and which you have not been able to hear just because of the outward turmoil or the outward emotional disturbance. And if you know, take a note of it. And if you have not opened your eyes already, take a deep breath and open your eyes whenever you are ready. If you've not really gotten an answer, this is also fine, because you've already shifted your awareness and concentration towards this, towards understanding this. So the answer, you have to just trust that the answer would come to you. But fundamentally, you have to remember that this is the state you want and you want to keep going back to this. So I would say that if we are to look at this session today, and if we are to understand what one takeaway I can take away from this self-care discussion that we have today, I would recommend you to keep going back to this slide. What is the state I would like to be in all the time? And keep thriving for that. And that in itself is a big self-care, because you're really bringing your attention back into yourself, which we have never been taught and we have never been given space. Even if we have attempted, we have been called names, So, but it's not really that. It is really catering to our need. And as you keep going back to that, keep asking yourself, what is a step I can take towards this? Sometimes the step would open up immediately. Sometimes it would not. You might have to do certain iterations. You might have to try one step. It might work. It might not work. You might have to do it again, but doesn't matter. You keep at it. That is self-care. Not giving up what you really want and keep moving towards it. Irrespective of what outer emotion we are feeling. That's one layer of it. Emotions are just one layer. There is something much deeper in you which is, trying to come out in spite of all of these emotions. And we are also trying to just get inward there. And the more and more we keep operating from this place, we would be in this place. It's just a habit. It's just a habit of like, this is what I really want. And then you keep going back to the state of like, what is the state I want to be in? I want to experience joy. Then you shift, you change, you sift through all the matters, and then you align back to that. It might take a lot of time. Sometimes it might take days. Sometimes it might take hours. It can really vary. But our primary attention and focus is fixed on our well-being, our state of joy, or I'm just calling it joy to just summarize most of the emotion, but whatever it is for you. So fundamentally, if I have to summarize, this is basically understanding the emotions of where you are, and then you recognize it, you take a step back, you go within yourself and see what is my real feeling right now and what is the unmet need, where it is coming from. If you don't want to dive into the needs and unmet needs, just check if you are really aspiring for this change, or do you still want to be just in the state that you are. And if you really have the aspiration to change, go inward, asking, what is it that I want, and from there, what is the state? The step 6, which I'm explaining here, is like, building a personal practice, which mostly comes with a outward help of like a coach or a mentor or a guide or something like that. But it's we can just do it ourselves in the same way. We just have to find a quiet space, just focus on what we need, and just ask ourselves, what is the step that I can take towards this need of mine? That is basic self-care. So with this, I would like to close my end of discussion, and I would like to take the rest of the minutes if there are any questions, if you want to ask something, and discuss anything from there. So somebody had replied to me in chat. I'm just taking this as an example, taking as communication and appreciation. So what you can do, if because you have picked up from the emotional well-being, I mean the METS chart, you can say, what can I do to improve my communication? What can I do to receive more appreciation or feel myself appreciated? One of the tips I would tell you for yourself is to appreciate yourself. That is also a very good way of approaching this. You can every time you feel that you are completely unacknowledged and you're not appreciated, I would really recommend you to just take a piece of paper today after this conversation and list 10 things that you would like to appreciate about yourself. Just give it to you, just giving that in itself, because what we are mostly like, many times we look for won't really come from outside, because it's very difficult. Sometimes it would come also when we really change, when something changes from within, when we no longer want it, it would just come and we would be like, hey, what just happened? So because we have found that satisfaction within ourselves, and then suddenly like somebody else also sees it, because it's just like reciprocation. If we look at it from a Western approach, the modern day Western approach, it is like, you know, law of attraction, or like, you know, vibration matches vibration or whatever. So I would really recommend you who have written, you know, you are looking for appreciation, to take a list. Make a list of 10 things that you would like to appreciate about yourself. It can be something that you have always wanted to hear from someone else, or you're giving a credit to yourself. I have a question here. Can you please talk about auras? Can someone else meddle with our aura? Well, I really don't want to go into, this is a completely different area called occultism. I don't want to fully dive into this area of occultism, but because you asked, I would like to just mention it. Aura is basically this energy which is surrounding us. We have 10 minutes. Okay, so I would like all of you to put both your palms on your lap. But if you're not sitting cross-legged, then just if you're on a table or something like that, just put it on the table. But lap is the most ideal thing. And very gently and slowly, keep lifting your hand, both your hands, slowly and steadily. Our aim is to bring it towards the middle, facing each other, but really do it very slowly and steadily. Very slowly and steadily. Keep moving it. Keep moving it. Keep moving it. And when you reach a point when you want to shift the direction from the palms looking upward, make it look opposite. The palms would face each other. Some of us would start feeling it like from really far, but some of us would start feeling an energy like a push or a pull as we move closer. So this is basically the energy that is surrounding us. We are just concentrating with our arms to just hold this energy within us. So this is in the Chinese, it's called qi, it's called prana, or it can so this is basically like the energy. So similar to this that you're feeling, you can just drop your hand if you are bored with it, or if you don't want to feel. If you want to play with it, you can just keep moving your hand also. You will feel that push and pull keep coming. So this energy which is really like surrounding us is what is called aura. And can someone, to your question of can someone else meddle with our aura, it really depends on how weak your aura is, or how strong your aura is. If your aura is pretty strong, nothing can really penetrate. But if your aura is little weak, and if it has like in some of the healing practices, they call it holes, they call it dented or whatever. So if there are areas like that, then you might feel tension around this area. And if it is like carrying on for too much or for too long, that's when sometimes some people come up with some diseases in certain area. But also it can really from our mind. Anything that manifests on our body is because of our thinking. So this is basically aura. But personally, if you feel that someone else is meddling with your aura, or you are not able to hold capacity of your aura, because of your question, I'm basically assuming you are a believer. Then you can call to whom you fully believe in, or you have faith in, a god or goddesses, or you can just call into the universe and just ask for protection. Ask for protection to protect yourself in a very, either you can visualize yourself like in a very golden light, or you can uh, visualize yourself like in a royal purple or a royal blue light. All these three are very protective energy, light radiations. So so you can um, do one or any of these practices. to do, in case you are feeling that somebody is meddling with your aura or something. This is all I want to talk about it, because I don't know if there is a larger interest to hear about this. But in case you are interested to know more, contact me. I can send you, either I can find out some videos, or I can send you other areas or schools of healing or schools of thoughts which really work in this direction. Any other questions?
Prema, can you leave your mail ID so that they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, I will
Later on.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Just mention, when you write to me, just mention that you were part of this this conversation, this webinar, IEEE webinar. Then I would immediately be able to connect with you. So with this, I'm stopping my share, and I would, yeah.
Okay, before we wind up, I would like to acknowledge the presence of many professionals, especially thanks to Mr. Deepak Mathur, a senior member of IEEE, who is the Regent and Chair-elect. Thank you, sir, for joining and supporting us. We have Sharda, the section chair, along with us. Can you just give a small feedback on this, Deepak, sir?
Yeah, thanks, Minnie. I was also just going to ask that, those of us who are here, if you can come online and show your faces and have a chit chat or say how you felt about the session, it would be really nice.
Thank you, Minnie, and thank you, Prema, for such a nice session. I had an opportunity to be in a session of Prema when I was attending, I think, TenCon
in Cochin.
And you have very simply addressed various issues which we are facing in day-to-day life, and how to introspect and how to stick to what we want, like joy or happiness or whatever we want. So thank you, Prema, for such a nice session, and Kerala section for thoughtfulness of selecting such topic. Thank you, Minnie.
Thank you, sir. Sharda? Okay. Sharda?
I saw somewhere in between Ramya KP coming online. Would you like to share something?
Yeah. Please, Ramya, please go ahead. She's also a professional.
I saw her video getting switched on.
We have many students also a part of this. Okay, I'm sure that.
Yeah, anybody who would like to share, please feel free.
We have 2-3 minutes more.
You can write to us personally also, both to Minnie or myself, on how you felt about the session. And, if you would like us to further delve into any particular topic, then let us know, so that, we can go a little deeper into that and see how we can assist you in this journey. But fundamentally, this is my forte, like your well-being or self-care and growth.
We have Deepa. Deepa, can you give a feedback?
Deepa here.
Yeah.
Hi, Deepa.
Thank you, Prema ma'am. It's a nice session. Hello, Minnie ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can.
We
Please
can
go
hear
ahead.
you.
Even if you
We
don't
just
have
can't
a,
see you.
yeah, your
I
video
feel
is
that
not clear.
okay.
Yeah, you
The session is a good one. It's really beneficial. Thank you, ma'am.
thank you, Deep.
Okay. So, Mini, maybe we can close with that. Maybe, people are still with families and do not want to unmute. Ramya has come online again. So,
Ma'am, it is a really wonderful session. We get more idea about aura and meditation. It's really wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking such a nice session for us.
most welcome. My pleasure. Thank you. So, maybe we can close with this. Just, well, I usually close with silence. So, just take a minute and once again focusing on the breath. Sending gratitude to everybody who has been part of this journey, everyone who came to Zoom, to Mini, to myself, just in gratitude to all and all that is. Thank you so much. So we can close with this, Mini. If
Sure.
all is
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you once again, Prema, on behalf of the Kela section. Gratitude to you. And we will look forward for the other feedback also. I'll just try to get the feedback from this participants.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.